seconds. Dubs is day 7.
What's up, H-Dub? It's day 8. Today gonna be basically about just not worrying about what people say, bro. I say I really had to ignore how people felt about me in order to get to where I want to be, and that's just losing, and that's just gaining the confidence to even start something. People used to tell me, your plan not gonna work if you don't if you don't test waters, if you don't take the risk, your plan definitely not gonna work. If you believe whatever they gotta say about your goals and your ambition, your plan definitely not gonna work. Alex said he worked so hard, no results. And even when he was doing events, he was getting one clap, and that was just himself. But still, it's about showing up. If you show, the more you show up, the more your roadmap to success is definitely going to be way more pleasing because you put in the effort to get there. Like wasting your time should never be a thought when you're in business. Once you're an entrepreneur, you should always think ahead. Like think about long term. Like don't just do something for the current moment. Do it to think, all right, in the next 5 to 10 years, this is going to be happening with my business. This is my business goal. This is where I want to be. You feel me? That's where personal growth come in. Not just certain things, but that's when the whole switch and transformation come in. But like I said, this day 8, something that has been on my mind during this journey is definitely that a lot of people want a different life. They want more money, more freedom, more confidence, more opportunity. But something I'm starting to understand is you just don't create a different life. You have to become that person that's creating it. That's what I'm working on right now. I just can't have a different life. I want a different life, and if I'm not even there yet. Every successful person say, become the person you want to be before you become that person, and that make a lot of sense. Wallow, for example, on his podcast with Mel Robertson and just him, he said he was locked up. Mind you, I can relate to him because he's from Philly. He said he was locked up when he was in there. He thought he was in penitentiary. He thought he was in Penn State when he was in the penitentiary. You feel me? But more of the story, he was like, he changed his life because he looked in the mirror and said, stop worrying about other people. It's me versus me. I should not be in here because this is not myself. This is not who I want to be. So when he came home, he started visiting the places he wanted to live in, driving the cars that he wanted to own, and just literally showing his lifestyle and becoming that person. Like I just said, becoming that person that he wanted to be in order to be where he wanted to be. You feel me? But that's all to say, like, really start looking at yourself differently and becoming that person, because there's nothing wrong with trying to be that person. If you want to work hard, if you want to look like the person that's working hard, that was in the storm by himself and came out of the storm, you can do it. If you feel like that is not possible, you can do it. I'm starting literally from zero. I went from 0 to 12 subs to 30 subs. I'm just growing. Like now we at 80 subs. Applaud to myself, applaud to y'all for helping me out. But if I never started, I'd have been at zero regardless. You feel me? It's all about when are you going to start and when do you feel like it's the time. It's never going to be the time is right because the most uncomfortable moments, that's the best time to start anything. I was very uncomfortable when I first started. December 29th was the first day I started this whole process, posting on social medias, um, being comfortable talking in front of people. All of that came just from December 29th and up until then. You get what I'm saying? Like prior that school year, this is my 12th grade year, by the way. I'm in school working while everybody else trying to talk to me or everybody else doing work in class. I would get my work done and I would leave out the class, go somewhere alone and try to film content. That's all I was worrying about. Once I started, I knew what my focus was. I knew that I had to achieve a goal. My goal was to do it from December 29th to June 12th. Boom, accomplished. Now it's June 12th passed. That was graduation. Now it's time to really take it way further and really dedicate myself. Now that I got the free time, my whole thing was I needed free time in order to figure it out. I used to tell my mom that I'm like, Mom, just give me free time. I got my plan already. I said I'm gonna take a leap year. I got my plan. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna focus on myself and my plan. But I never thought of if this don't work out. I think of when it work out. This is why it worked out because I'm putting in the work now. But that's just all to say. Chase it, man. Chase your dream because I'm getting chills talking about this because, bro, it's people that really wake up and don't do nothing to move forward, don't do nothing that their future self will want them doing. I look at it as my future self and my younger self. Those two people are the only people that I look up to because my younger self, me, I used to always have the mindset of being an entrepreneur thanks to my father, but it was installed in me as a young age. It was embedded in me as a young age to be an entrepreneur. Like I won an award from entrepreneurship. It said I showed the most growth mindset when it comes to entrepreneurship. That's all I talk about is growth mindsets. If you look at my first videos, I'm talking about building a growth mindset and having a growth mindset. But I definitely feel way more comfortable talking to a camera. Right now is a stepping stone, but definitely like in 2 or 3 years, bro, I want to be in conferences with other digital marketers or with other business owners or other content creators. It's people that's just winning and successful people. Like I want to be around those type of people. That's why I just said really stay tuned for the journey because whenever that 6 month hit or even before that, I promise you I'm gonna be in a new place. I'm gonna keep that promise. So I'm gonna be in a new place, different environment, different people, different habits, a lot of things, different hobbies. I'm building. Like I got a notepad. I wrote down 5 hobbies that I want to accomplish. And that was sewing. I want to learn how to sew more. I want to learn how to cook. I want to play. I want to learn how to play an instrument. I want to box. Um, the fifth one was I want to learn how to paint. But I'm building up what my future self want to be doing. Like the road I want to take, I want to have peace of mind. I want to be able to just run to something that's going to give me peace of mind. You get what I'm saying? For a long time, I think a lot of people focused on only the outcome. I just was watching a video. Matter of fact, I was in the shower earlier and I was listening to this video. It was Alex Hormozy motivation video, right? Basically, he was saying he is where he want to be because he put in more input than he looked for output, if that makes sense. What I'm doing now, I'm putting in more input. Like I'm outworking the future. I'm outworking me before, and I'm working so hard to get to where I want to be because the more input you put out, that's when your output start coming in. Don't worry about the output in the beginning head. Worry about the input. Like I said, progress over perfection. It don't matter how good it is. It don't matter how many results. It don't matter how many followers, how many views, whatever. All of that will come if you put in the work. I promise you it's going to come if you put in the work. We think once I have success, I'll be confident. Once I make money, I'll be happy. Once I change, or once things change, I'll finally become different. Your habits create your identity. Your identity creates your action, and your actions create your results. That's real stuff. I wrote that in my notes. But like I said, bro, like don't just think short term. Start thinking long term. Whether it's goals, whether it's business, whether it's personal growth, whether it's whatever mindset. Think long term. Long term is definitely way better than the short term thinking. I was on another thing yesterday. It was Grant Cardone. He was live for like 4 to 5 hours, but I was listening. He was basically saying you got the entrepreneur that small thinks don't get a business. This business don't even be able to thrive past certain years or grow in revenue past certain things because he thinks small. What else? Comfortability. You got to get rid of the comfortability in order to grow as an entrepreneur. What else? He was saying the person that's not greedy. What's the word? Like too confident, like big headed. Basically, he was basically saying like this person feel like he don't need a mentor. This person don't feel like he don't need a coach. Mentor and coaches are two different things, but this person feel like he just don't need no type of help or a team to get to where he want to be. That's not true at all. I invested into someone, and I just felt like they wasn't getting me to where I want to be, but they definitely put me on. Like the startup, definitely understood what he was saying. Like I got the notes. It's like 5 pages, because there's 5 stages of it. So you got the page 1, page 2, page 3, etc. But then after I took those notes, I'm doing it, and I'm just going through them, and I'm like, I understand what he trying to do, because he was presenting it, but I just think he don't explain things how I like obtain information. So I kept doing more research, and I found another mentor. Now I work with this mentor daily. She give me daily projects, daily homework. She do challenges with us. I want to challenge with us. Say whoever get the most leads, I want $100. But that was in the beginning stages. I'm still in the beginning stages, but it's just like, bro, invest into yourself first before anything. Because if you invest into yourself first, you definitely gonna be able to do more things and have way more opportunities as you get older. And I learned that from a lot of people. Like my dad even said that. He said, invest into myself. He invests into himself so many times. He 40 some years old. He invested into himself so many times that he got so much assets to build upon and to just work on over time. But the future of me isn't someone who just wants achievements. It's someone who's disciplined enough to maintain achievements, because once you get them, you just can't be cocky and think, all right, I achieved this goal. But what if you lose that goal because you wasn't confident or you wasn't being humble? That's another thing. You got to learn to be humble, because being humble definitely going to put you way farther. But people got to stop thinking so small and just only thinking about the success, the results. People got to start worrying about processes, the boring days, the difficult days, the hard days, lonely days, the days when you got to sacrifice, the days when you're crying, real tears, the days where you feel like it's not going to work, the days where you just lose complete confidence in effort and motivation. All of that is a part of the process. Like if you lose those things, or if you get into one of them stages, it's perfectly fine. That shows growth. Like a lot of people can't even put up them storms. I know I'm getting chills, bro. A lot of people can't even put up with those storms because they feel like this is my break point. The break point is definitely the road to getting to where you want to be. That's the stepping stone. If you can't get past that step, I'm letting you know to give up on yourself, because that's what you did already. I wouldn't even tell you to give up on yourself unless you didn't do that. But all right, y'all, this day 8. I'm gonna get out with y'all.